Day, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, Whitney Ortiz, is the director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau. Good morning, Whitney. Good to see you.
Good morning, Seth, on this little chilly morning.
Little chilly, but I was looking at the weather forecast earlier, and it's going to warm back up. So
next week it's going to be back to summer weather.
Yep, not to worry, not to fret. So, but no, Whitney, as we talk for this morning, even though it's going to feel like summer getting into the middle of September, summer technically for the Atlanta Tourism Bureau has somewhat wrapped up. How was the summer?
I mean, it was busy, so it's always nice ending like the high season and then getting into gears for like October, November, where it's a little more relaxed. And by that, I'm not having to throw events every weekend. So I have more time to like look forward for next year, create bigger, better events. And then like next week, I'm going to go do research up in Pontiac at their Pontiac's and Pontiac event. I'll be going down to Springfield in the month because I have time to go to their big Mother Road Festival. So really getting into, hey, what can make our events better too? Not copying other people's ideas, but just going and seeing how they do it, because really we only know how we've done it.
Right. Well, and it's not only you're finding ways to keep yourself busy, but you're creating more work for you for another busy summer next year.
And it's nice too, because you meet people at these events, and when I go to Pontiac's and Pontiac, there are different Pontiac car clubs from around the area and from around the region. And, maybe they'll be interested in coming to Atlanta next year for an event. I mean, we roll out the red carpet for all of our car clubs. So just going there, making contacts. Plus, we have a really good working relationship with the tourism director in Pontiac. Just going, reestablishing that. She came down for our Christmas parade last year. So now I'm going up to one of her events this year.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we have our big Route 66 Illinois conference in Pontiac in October. So just going up there, kind of showing my face, talking tourism stuff, and then seeing how they do their events. And then alternately going down to Springfield, where we also have a really good relationship with Visit Springfield. So just, showing a face, being there, just making people aware, hey, here's a point of contact, middle of the state on 66.
Yeah, absolutely. So making yourself visible, and it sounds like one of those things, they're there for you, so you want to be there for them.
Exactly. And I mean, people come through, and the past few days, I've just been sitting inside the Welcome Center just talking to tourists all over, and they come in and they don't really have ideas of mine. Like, they know they want to see 66, but they always ask us, what should we do? So, having these relationships, I can direct them like, hey, go do this here, go do that here. Oh, you're looking for lunch in about an hour and a half? Oh, check out this place in Litchfield, things of that nature. And they can do the same in return, because those are really common questions we get asked on a daily basis.
Yeah. So how familiar are you becoming with Route 66 and all the things up and down it in Illinois?
It just depends. So Illinois, I'm pretty strong until you get past Litchfield. And then there's a lot of gray areas. Like, I know some of the bigger stuff to do. I just haven't had time to go explore that part, because it's a little bit longer than an hour drive for me.
Yeah, right.
Whereas, I can go down to Litchfield, Springfield, Pontiac, even up to the Chicago suburbs pretty easily. And my husband and I, we travel to Chicago for fun. So we always do 66, and we'll do a new stop on the way up, because it's on the way. Why not?
Right, exactly. You're already there. Definitely. So as you think about this past year, Whitney, how did the year go? What did you think?
I was looking at so I love numbers. Love them. I know last time I talked about numbers too, but I was looking at them again yesterday as I was adding the new tallies in. And tour group wise, we've doubled the groups we had from last year, which is exciting to see. Because last year I thought we did awesome. And I'm like, whoa, we've actually times it by 2. And then we've also had double the car clubs and different other non-tour groups, but groups of people coming through. I mean, just on Saturday, we had a group of 70 coming through. Jeeps Against Suicide from Heart of Illinois. They rolled through town, did a lunch stop with us. And that's just, one of, I think it was 10 different groups that we've had. And we have a car club coming in next week. So it's just exciting to see it just keep growing. And we've already surpassed our 2021 tourism numbers, hand counted ones.
Wow.
We only count them by hand. If we haven't seen them, they don't count. And that's very, basically events, museum, things like that.
Can Atlanta handle, from a, a food establishment perspective, that many people in town at a time?
Yes, it takes thought. So we always tell our groups of more than 40, please talk to me about it so I can get it set up. Otherwise, you risk overcrowding our restaurants, because we have 2 plus the bakery.
Right.
And they cannot accommodate 100 people at a time.
Right.
So typically with our bigger groups, usually some of them will defer to do like a buffet style, and our ballroom can accommodate, I believe it's 140 people. So we'll do half of the group up there. If they don't want to do like our buffet, which we serve country air fried chicken, usually it's whatever they want, but that's the popular request. Our downstairs room can hold about 40 people, and then Chubby's can hold, I think it's 38, and country air can hold about 100. So typically we'll do country air inside, and then those who want Chubby's can go. But we try to tell them as much notice as we have, hey, you may have a lot of people coming in, so they know to have more staff on board. Unfortunately, Saturday there was some miscommunication, and it happens when they get overwhelmed, and we just want to do all we can to make sure that they know and the other businesses know, so they aren't flooded with customers. Same with their shops, that if we don't tell them and a group just shows up, they might be one person trying to check out 50 people.
When you get these international groups, I know summertime is big for that, and I think you said that actually spills into even October, those international.
Oh, we had several in town on Saturday, too.
Yeah, so what did they think of an American, American meal at a bar or restaurant or whatever?
From what I've seen, they love it. A lot of our international motorcycle groups tend to stop at either 217, which is just outside of town. It's like a bar grill on 66. And then Chubby's is ours, like in town, in the city limits bar. And the motorcycle groups love going there. It's also, Chubby's has also been on one of the motorcycle Route 66 list. So they're aware, hey, bikers are welcome here. We love them. I know Saturday when I did about 2 hours of just talking to tourists from like 8 in the morning to 10 in the morning, because we had a surprisingly large number of people there at that time.
Yeah.
Like 4 different groups coming in, like small groups who I was not aware was coming, but they were just traveling together. We had some cyclists going cycling 66, and I was just there talking to them. And a lot of them went into Missy's for breakfast. They had a coffee, they had some cinnamon rolls, and then the groups, like the smaller groups, were all like sitting at Missy's talking to each other, just meeting fellow travelers. And that was really cool to like be there and see, because a lot of the times I'm running things, so I can't have conversations that long and lengthy and be able to really see these groups interact with each other. So that was really neat.
That is cool. So how long will the tourist season last in Atlanta, you think?
I don't know. So I know definitely through September, because if you think about it so I was a travel agent pre-tourism director.
Didn't know that.
From a travel agent perspective, international flights are cheaper, like September, March, these like shoulder months. So it makes sense now that I'm thinking about it, why we have so many people coming in right now from overseas. Like we probably had about 50 French men and women come through on Saturday. And it's because flights are just cheaper. And, June, July, August, you have extremely high prices. So if you're trying to save some money to spend on the road, you're going to come this time of year and through October. So I anticipate we will have travelers up until probably November, when the weather really starts to get iffy on the road. And not just here in Illinois, but all the way out.
Right.
Parts of Arizona are going to start getting negative weather that time of year. Same with Oklahoma. So that discourages travelers. But I think until then, a lot of our travelers that we're going to see are going to be our internationals, because of the flight pricing.
Wow. Interesting stuff. Whitney, as it relates to just the summer season, the car cruise-ins as well, how about that aspect of the summer? How did those all go?
It went well up to the last 2 cruise-ins, because we had to cancel our 2 cruise-ins ago, because we did not realize we had booked it in concurrent with Shady Grove's car show down in Lincoln, and we never want to compete with locals. So we were like, you know what, go there, go enjoy balloons on 66.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was our last car cruise-in of the summer, and it rained, and I was so upset. I was like, no, I was so excited to, end it with a bang. And I mean, we had some cars still come, but when it rains, you're not going to take out your prized possession and get water stains on it. And I don't blame them. I didn't like sitting outside either.
Yeah. Nobody wants to go to a car cruise in the rain. So,
but I mean, only 2 for the whole year, which is pretty good. The rest of the year was sunny and it was beautiful weather. So I couldn't have asked for a better car season. I thought it went really well, and I cannot wait to open up our car cruisins again next year with our Labor Day one. Not Labor Day one, Memorial Day.
Memorial
oh my goodness.
Day. Yeah.
And then we're actually going to have a car show next year too, for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. When it comes to, did you in your numbers talk about the amount of number of cars that came in? Did you say those numbers? I can't remember.
I did not, but I have them recorded down. I know our first one, we had about 120 cars, which has been the most we've had since probably 2009.
Oh, wow.
That was big numbers for us. And that surpassed the 90 from the year before. So I anticipate this year we're going to have even more. Our other car shows typically fluctuate between 20 to 40, which, I mean, for a block on a street, it's not bad at all.
Is Atlanta known for car cruise-ins?
We used to be. I'm getting us back to being known for that. But like back in the early 2000s when they were really throwing them on, yes.
Gotcha.
And then it just, about a 10-year lapse of no car cruising. So I'm bringing that back and hopefully restoring the reputation.
Very good. Well, look forward to that for next year as well. So you mentioned Memorial Day. That was the big one. That's kind of the staple. Do you have more planned for next year, or like when do you start thinking about those?
We definitely do. I've started making a rough outline, which I will then track with other event dates to make sure we're not trying to compete with others going on. We will have about 2 a month up through August. And we will also have 2 cars and coffees where we have, cookies and coffee free for those who want to come and just talk cars. We're going to try. I say try because I need to find judges and all things of that nature. But our goal is to have a car show. The first show we've done since I've been tourism director on June 17th. We are going to have this huge event that day. It's zip code day, 61723, which is Atlanta zip code.
Okay.
And so we're going to do a whole day of events, and the car show is going to be one of them.
All right. So we look forward to that. Whitney, as we look back, though, at the summer, any other highlights, anything we missed you want to put out there for us today?
Just it's so refreshing seeing people in town almost all the time. It's amazing. Like all the streets crowded. Like yesterday, there was no parking. That's a great problem to have.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Whitney, let's take a time out. Where do folks go to learn more about all things Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau?
Check us out on social media. Visit Atlanta IL or our website, atlantaillinois.org.
Again, that's Whitney Ortiz, director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau, our guest in studio. More to come with her on the morning show. WHOW.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn lower, beans higher, wheat trading lower. September corn 6.95 1/4, down 3 1/4. December corn down 5 1/4, 6.79 3/4. March corn 6.84 1/2, down 4 3/4. November beans up 4 1/2, 14.16 3/4. January beans up a nickel, 14.22 1/2. March beans 14.25, up 4 3/4. September wheat down 3/4, 8.52 1/2. December wheat down 12 1/2, 8.57. March wheat 8.73, down 11. September bean meal up $5, 4.45.90. September bean oil down 86 cents, 69.39. In the livestock market, September feeders 183.12, up 12 cents. October live cattle 145.87, up 20 cents. And October lean hogs, 91.85, down to $1.32. In the energy market, October crude oil, 88.42, that's up $1.63.
Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson here with a supply chain update. While we're working as best we can to keep our shelves stocked with the items you need and want every day, we're experiencing never-before-seen interruptions in product availability and delivery, both through Save-A-Lot and our direct suppliers. In most cases, they can't run their production lines due to the lack of workers, plus a shortage of truck drivers. Despite all that, we're working to keep the meat, produce, and other products you buy in stock and on our shelves every day. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and the WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Whitney Ortiz. She is the director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau. And confession time, Whitney, you and I sat and talked about Chubby's and food in Atlanta
you can't go wrong with it.
for 2 minutes. So what do you want to talk about next? What's on your agenda here this morning?
We can talk about getting into fall mode.
Let's talk about getting into fall mode. What's going on there? What do you got?
Well, food-wise in Atlanta. Let's lead in with that. If you're going to Chubby's, you got to get the Chubby Melt. It tastes like In-N-Out animal style, and it does. I think it's fall because messy. Fall's messy, and it's nice and hot, and it's kind of chilly outside right now. If you're going to Missy's Sweet Shop, she now has her pumpkin cupcakes out, which I had one for breakfast yesterday, and it was a pumpkin chocolate chip, and it was amazing with cream cheese frosting, so good. And she has also her pumpkin bars. And if you're going to Sip Shack, they have their Huckleberry specials out now too for the fall. And one of them,
what is Sip Shack?
It's the coffee shop in town. It's really good. The drive-through and or walk-through, depending on how you want to get there. But they have a lot of Huckleberry drinks. So they just released yesterday. They're like Huckleberry energy drink with like a little Huckleberry gummy bear, which is really cute. And then their Huckleberry Latte, which is like a Huckleberry truffle one. And I'm probably going to try it when I go to town today.
That's a fruit, right?
It is. It's
so
good,
and it's in season now, or it's
a fall one.
I was gonna say it's like a real short season for those, if I'm not mistaken.
It's so good.
Is it?
It's like almost like a tart blueberry, I guess is a good way to describe it. It's so tasty, but you have to have something sugary or sweet to go with it to really like bring out the flavor. Otherwise, it's just bitter.
Okay, very good.
Blackberries.
Now you said they have an energy drink. Did you?
Yeah, so they have these things called Lotuses, which is like it's a form of like an energy drink where they do like pumps of it. And it's like very concentrated. So you dilute it with soda water and then you add your flavors and things of that in.
Yeah.
Really good. And it doesn't have that chemically taste of energy drinks. If you're an energy drinker, it does not have that like gross taste that some of them do have.
I see. Very good.
It disguises the flavor.
All right. So a lot to eat and drink in Atlanta. So check that out.
Always.
What else is happening this fall?
So we will decorate for Halloween the first week of October, which is earlier than last year, partially because I'm actually taking vacation and I need to make sure everything looks nice before I leave town for a week or so. And then I have conferences when I get back, which does not leave time to go and put cobwebs all over downtown.
All right. So you got to do that early then.
And we will have, if you came to town last year, we had some really cool Halloween decorations. Our Bunyan statue had cobwebs, fake spiders, the works. It will be doubled this year. We have bought even more Halloween decorations, even more cobwebs, even more spooky stuff, but tastefully spooky, not too scary. So I'm very excited to get everything out and decorate. So by hopefully, fingers crossed, October 5th, Atlanta, Illinois downtown, which is our Arch Street, should be decorated for the season, which kicks off towards the end of October, our 13 nights of Halloween. We are still deciding, we being the library and tourism, what those days are going to be. I know the Haunted Museum will be the last 3 days, which last year the Haunted Museum brought in 300 people over the course of 2 days. This year it's 3 days.
All right.
And it'll be even better than last year's was. So I cannot wait to see the Halloween lineup. I'm hoping I can see it by the end of the week so I can start building out the calendar. And because I'm really nosy and I just want to know.
Yeah. With fall events being largely outdoors for the most part, did you find COVID impacted you the last couple of years with those?
If anything, I think it brought more people to town last October because all of our decorations are outside. You can, socially distance. You don't have to worry about being in closed spaces. And so we would have just families come in, park. They would go into like our little park area, which has a lot of our Halloween decorations, and they would pose with these inflatables, things like that. And I think had it been indoors, we would not have seen as many people. And probably wouldn't be as, you wouldn't want to pose your car in front of stuff like that because it's inside. You can't do that.
Exactly.
And then you're limited to the hours that you're open versus, you can kind of come up whenever you like. You can come take pictures in the park, take pictures with the Bunyan Giant with his spiders all over him, which the kids absolutely loved last year. That was like their highlight that I heard was like, oh my gosh, there's spiders on the hot dog.
Yeah.
And then go to Missy's, grab a cookie there. You had a great half day.
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to the fall, Whitney, anything else going on you want to mention with us today?
After that, we're kicking into high gear for Christmas. That weekend after Thanksgiving is when everything Christmas happens. So I have a very short window between Halloween, decorating for Christmas, prepping the Christmas parade, prepping the Christmas tree lighting, prepping the Christmas market. But then luckily, once that weekend's done, the rest of December, I can just enjoy the decorations.
Yeah, enjoy Christmas for sure. So when it comes to Halloween decorations, what's it like in downtown Atlanta?
I think it's really cool. So we do a lot of cobwebbing like on our bushes. One, because it holds well in the wind. So the wind will not blow them away.
Yeah.
And the rain will not destroy it. It stays. It's pretty permanent. And it's kind of hard to remove because it likes to stick to all the leaves.
Yeah.
But we'll do lots of cobwebbing, lots of we have spiders and we tie them on with everything has to be wind secured. So we tie them on with a lot of aluminum ties. Our inflatables, we have, I think, 3 this year in our park. Also has to be secured.
Yeah.
We're getting a Halloween sign this year for people to take pictures by. Last year, we didn't have a sign, so that's new. We have a really cool fog machine for the Haunted Museum. As they walk in, they go through the fog.
Where is the Haunted Museum?
It will be in Union Hall, which is that Welcome Center area on Arch Street, 114 Southwest Arch Street. It'll be upstairs in our big ballroom. And it may go around the building too. I'm not sure if they've decided if it's just going to be the ballroom this year or some other things. I do know, though, Missy will be open late those nights, and she will be having Halloween cookies.
All right. Whitney, I hate to do this to you. We are coming up on our last minute together. Anything else you want to mention, whether it's fall, whether it's Atlanta, anything we haven't touched on today you want to get to?
Just if you're wondering what's going on in town, we do have a great event calendar on atlantaillinois.org. And sometimes on our Facebook page, visit Atlanta IL. Sometimes I forget to add the events. If I do, just send me a message on the Facebook page and I will respond within usually 10 minutes.
All right. So keep that in mind. Check out the Facebook page for all the latest in Atlanta. What's the website and is it easy to navigate? How about those things?
AtlantaIllinois.org. If you go down the middle of the first page, there's a events calendar tab. Just click on that and it pulls everything up. So you'll have the calendar on the left and then the list of events on the right.
All right. So check that out. Whitney, we appreciate your time as always. Again, is there you mentioned pamphlets over the last several visits. Are those scattered in places folks can pick up?
They are. So we have our walking guides all over town. The brochure boxes should be stuffed with them. They're blue. It's hard to miss. We also have our brochures all over the place between here, Chicago, even out in California. So
all right.
Pretty much any museum that you go to or visitor center within a 200-mile radius will have them.
All right. Whitney, always good to talk to you. Thanks for making time with us as always. Whitney Ortiz is the director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau. Our guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance.
WHOW. The Big 1520